Hey y'all, it's Bear. It's Tuesday, March 15th, 2022, and this is part two of an update of what it's been like to be openly trans in the military and celebrating the 3 year anniversary of going off to BMT and actually pursuing this new career and life. I mentioned in part one that there were things I expected and there were things that I didn't expect. And it really is its own topic and worth its own video. Um, for those who aren't familiar with it, there was a ban on trans people serving in the military that did not get changed when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. Don't Ask, Don't Tell only lifted that policy for people who were gay, lesbian, bisexual, stuff like that. It did not touch the policy on trans people. And the reason is because, you can don't burn me at the stake for saying this, but being gay, lesbian, bisexual, that's a lifestyle. That's your personal life, right? Being trans is your identity, and so it's a little bit less private. So when you come out as trans, you really do need to tell everyone because you're going to change and you're going to ask them to call you a different name, different pronouns, stuff like that. So it's a lot more public. And also, it used to be a diagnosable mental disorder. Um, it was called gender identity disorder. And it was understood as a disorder, as a mental, health disorder. And now, as we're learning more and more, we realize that it's not a disorder so much as it's actually just a less typical brain function where you're um, assigned sex at birth, which is your body, and your gender identity, which is your brain, don't align unambiguously. It's not super typical. Trans people are a minority, but it's not abnormal, and it's not a defect, and it's not a deficiency, and it's not a disorder. So that's why that ban remained in place, and that's why that ban eventually got lifted. Is that people did the work, they did the research. You had organizations like Sparta and individual organizations that were educating people at the top tier of the military that hey, these people are not disqualifiable from service because of a disorder. They can function in the military just as well as cisgender people and just as well as everyone else. So um, that ban was lifted in 2018 for people to join, and there was a handful of us that got in under that time before the policy was or the ban rather was re-implemented in 2019, which was when I was in basic training. It was April of 2019, and I was like kind of tracking it through letters from family, and I was like, I still had that thing in my head of this is never going to go through. They're going to send me home any minute now. And then I graduated, right? And it didn't happen. Because I was basically grandfathered under, the policy when I came in was this, and so I was allowed to stay in. When the ban got implemented, people weren't able to join, and that ban has recently changed. Um, wow, that was a lot. I hope that made sense. Anyway, what I expected coming into this very tight community of people was a lot of pushback. I expected there to be a lot of, hey, we don't want your kind here. We don't, you know, we don't agree with you being here. I expected a lot of hazing. I expected a lot of harassment. And quite frankly, it hasn't happened. Um, with the exception of the occasional person who doesn't really live this life, who may have a preconceived notion, who may vocalize something, at work or on shift or on the internet or something, and I'll just take the time at my level to attempt to educate them. And for the most part, anybody who's had a problem has listened to that and been like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Or they'll mention talking points like how trans people are going to cost the military like X amount of money, and I'll be like, hey, here's the numbers, and I'll attempt to educate them. Every once in a while, I've run into somebody that's like, oh, you get so offended. No, I'm not offended, dude. I don't care about your opinion. Like, I'm just trying to educate you. I'm just trying to like show you this is a talking point. This is something that like people bring up, and this is reality. So, but I haven't had any of the like huge harassment and stuff that you expect, mostly because that's what's portrayed in movies, right? Is like all the hazing and craziness. Um, Whether that's just because of movies or because that's not the modern military, where that stuff's been really like just kind of toned down, I don't know. All I know is that me personally over here, I haven't really dealt with that, with the exception of keyboard warriors. And when I say that, I mean the people that'll get online and post negative shit or post memes or comment on something about how, these people, trans people, like they don't even know who they are. How can I trust them in battle or whatever? And it's like, okay, dude, most of the time those are people that haven't actually even served, or they're people that served a long time ago when the military was that way and it was just all like cisgender like males, and guess what? We've grown up from that, and it's just not it's just not reality. Those are talking points, and you don't know the facts. You're just re-quoting somebody who said something. Um, and for the most part, like I don't take that bait from people that are like online, because what do I care about what they think? I don't know that person. I don't have to work with that person. You know, every once in a while, and you know how it is. I'll jump in and I'll like argue with somebody, and for the most part, right away that they're not interested in that education, and I'm like, I'm not gonna waste the energy, you know. So yeah, I expected a lot more pushback, and I didn't get it. What I didn't expect, and this is where it gets painful, is the amount of friends that I've lost from the LGBT communities and from the Jewish communities. I have lost people I thought were real friends, and ironically, some of them were people who cheered me on as I was trying to like fight the system and get into the military, and then I was successful, and they turned their back on me because I joined this so-called toxic masculine uh, organization, and they have this like, so this is stuff that's been said to me. People have said, you want to be a man so much that you signed up for the military so you could go kill brown people, because everyone that signs up for the military is like racist, and especially my career field, which is security forces, which is akin to being, police, right? And I'm just like, that is not why I signed up. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve my country and do a job and literally provide security. I'm not I'm not here to what? No. And it has been a huge shock. It's been a huge slap in the face. I've lost people that I thought were real friends, and you can call it cancel culture, you can call it whatever you want, but once you go that route where you're spouting that kind of negativity and stuff like that, you're shooting that straight into my pocket in this day and age, right? Because it's going to my phone, it's going to my pocket, and I'm not gonna put up with that. I just don't need it. I don't need it. My life is hard enough or uncomfortable enough or whatever you want to call it. I don't need someone buzzing into my pocket and telling me that I'm a bad person and that my intentions were clearly this or whatever. So have they been canceled and blocked? Yes, they have. They'll never see this video. And if they do, I hope they understand that they were just out of out of the ballpark on what they think my intentions are for being here. And that their language and everything was really hurtful and unsupportive. So for those of you who have stuck with me and who have continued to support me and continue watching my updates and videos and stuff like that, thank you. Thank you for noticing that I hit this anniversary, and thanks for checking on me from time to time. Um, and it means more than you can ever know, because it is hard. It is hard to be away and to leave everything you've ever known, come to a new place, meet a whole new set of people, learn a whole new set of rules and everything like that. And then to have people in the background from your personal life telling you that you're doing it for the wrong reasons and that inherently you're a bad person. Nobody needs that. So thanks to the people who haven't done that. Thanks for the people who are still around. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions you want to hear, any other updates, and have a good one. I'll see you next time.